home win in the Super League. The Wildcats caused an upset when they won here 2 years ago. This is Ian Millward's 5th anniversary as St Helens coach. The Saints are odds-on favourites. 3 games in the Engage Super League last night. Wins for Bradford, Leeds at Salford and Wigan against us. Wellens at full-back, Gardner, Lyon, Talau and Albert. Roby partners Sean Long. And the forwards, Fozzard, Cunningham, Paul Anderson, Gilmore, Vinnie Anderson and Sculthorpe, the captain. There's no Mickey Hyam, no John Wilkin, no Jason Cooper. On the bench, Edmondson, Bennett, Mason and Graham. The coaches, Ian Millward. Now the Wildcats, 1 or 2 problems here. Halpenny at fullback, Kirk, Dimitriou the captain, Kevin King, Tadulala, Rooney and Sam Obst. There's no Sid Domick there and no Ben Jeffries. And the forwards, Griffin, March, Snitch, Solomona, Jamie Field and O'Neill. And the bench, Korkidas, Wrench, Mark Field and Feather. The coach of the year, Shane McNally, who is still without long-term injury victims Rob Spicer and Michael Wainwright. St Helens team, they have been irresistible over the past couple of weeks. And Paul Sculthorpe about to get us underway. Here we go. 80 minutes. Wakefield will have first use of the football. Sam Obst. And it's a great chase from the kick-off by the St Helens team. Trying to pen Wakefield back if they possibly can. Steve Snitch gets a start. It's his 50th Wakefield appearance tonight. Good tackling by Talau on Julian O'Neill. And this now is Jamie Field for Wakefield. He will take tackle number 4. March is the dummy half. Good scoot from March. Only though as far as his opposite number, Kieran Cunningham, operating tonight as hooker. And trying to get out of the way, going for a piggyback. And the kick downfield is from Rooney. And this now is Paul Wellens, who tonight makes his 200th appearance for St Helens. Let's get an early word from the touchline. Here's Bill.
Both these sides missing a key character. Mickey Hyam, surprise omission for this Saints side, but the word from coach Ian Millward is that he has a slight leg injury. Could have played him today, but there's a busy Easter programme to look forward to. He didn't want to run the risk. Ben Jeffries, an absentee for the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats, pulled a hamstring in training. It's just a slight tweak, Jeffries. He says he should be fit, like Hyam, for the Easter weekend.
Pitch is dry. It's been a lovely spring day here in St Helens, and it's a night that will encourage top of the ground play, and that's exactly what St Helens tend to do. But that's a poor kick from Sculthorpe right down the throat of Halpenny. But how about that? Long low down, and Paul Anderson crunched him over the top.
Boy, what a tackle. Halpenny felt this. Bang! Oh, nothing illegal about it. That's the way to do it. Sean Long right round the legs, and as soon as he stopped, bang, in came the bus.
March goes down the left-hand side and finds Solomona. Little half break coming in there from King, Kevin King. Semi Tadulala, the dummy half. There's Obst, and here now is Daryl Griffin.
Well, it surprised me, Wakefield, so far. I expected that they would have just done the channel down the middle with their forwards, but they're electing for a very, very fast game.
Oh, but the pass from Dimitriou straight into the arms of Cunningham, and here comes Eddie Gardner, but he has got a man on his back, the man wearing the number 25, Andy Kirk, for Wakefield.
That was a shame there for the Trinity, because they really just stretched this St Helens defensive line.
Cunningham, the dummy half. Here is Lee Gilmore. Good tackling, though, by Julian O'Neill. Cunningham again, just delayed the pass, found Roby. Roby then wide to Sculthorpe. Vinnie Anderson. And that's Jamie Lyon. And he found Darren Albert. Lyon, the dummy half. It's with Sculthorpe again, attacking the Wakefield defence. Lost the ball. Wakefield have it. Here's Dimitriou.
Just tried to offload there in heavy traffic. But they have laid down the gauntlet already, haven't they, St Helens? They're going to swing it so wide. As you say, perfect conditions out there. Top of the surface, we should get a very fast, open game tonight.
Plenty of points as well. People tipping. Solomona. Good ball, Halpenny. Shuttles it out wide again. And that is Kevin King once more. 20 years of age. On halfway, the Wakefield Wildcats with Sam Obst. Picked up, he's only a little man, picked up by the big fellows, Anderson and Fozzar. Here is Rooney. Rooney finds, well, he almost found O'Neill. The ball bounces. Willie Talau is away. Long is with him, and Willie Talau will go over underneath the post for the first St Helens try. Well, the ball just simply went to ground, and there's a problem here for Julian O'Neill in back play as well. He is holding his wrist. Talau didn't hang around, just canted away. There was no cover, and Willie Talau, the New Zealand international, comes up with try number 4 for Ian Millwood, but there is a major problem here for Julian O'Neill.
Certainly looks it as well, but it all came about because of the defence. They really crunched into it. A few moments earlier we saw Paul Anderson put a big one in. He did it yet again, and then the defence put through. You can see Julian O'Neill, I think he's probably pulled out the thumb or one of the fingers dislocation, whilst this guy was running an easy running as well for a simple 4 points. It was a gift, couldn't believe it. Look at the expression on his face. It's a great start for the red and whites.
Fantastic start for the Saints. Willie Talau, he is not being overshadowed, is he, by Jamie Lyon. He has made a great start to 2005, the New Zealand international. Refuses to be upstaged by the man on the other side of the field. Lyon, the Australian international, and Sculthorpe here now, bang in front of the post. This should be 6-0 to St Helens in a moment. 6-0 it is. Well, O'Neill just surrendered the possession there, held his wrist or his hand in absolute agony, and Talau, he accepted the gift.
Well, who's running on the angle was Julian O'Neill, and you'll see it there. Oh, and he's just felt it, hasn't he?
Looks like it's a problem with the wrist and not the thumb, as we thought it might be. That's a big blow to the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats that restart the match with a kick-off from Jamie Rooney. 5 minutes of the match gone. Let's get the first word from Phil Clark, shall we, tonight? He's watching this, and I know, Phil, you've been very impressed with St Helens right from day one of the season.
Yeah, we saw them on Sky recently win a game in the last minute, but more recently in the performance against Salford last week, they almost won the game in the first minute. They started so quickly, they won possession, and they scored before Salford had ever touched the ball, and with them kicking off to begin the match, and it looks as though that they have that ability to do it again. When St Helens are at the best, we see players like Long and Sculthorpe creating dangerous plays and Cunningham running, but it's the forwards like Anderson and Fozzard who've had them going forward, like Lyon is right here.
Little pass out the back door as well, finds Darren Albert over on that far side.
That was
Vinnie Anderson,
class.
dummy half.
Sheer class, Eddie, from Jamie Lyon.
Penalty here for St Helens, a little tug at the ankle, second effort by the Wakefield defender. Obst picked out.
Big night for the little halfback as well. Jeffrey's not out there for the Wakefield side.
And Ian Millwood, I think, hoping that Carl Kirkpatrick would offer them the chance of advantage, but it wasn't forthcoming. He'd already blown for the penalty. Here is Cunningham, and it comes back to Sean Long, and Long tries to skip inside.
Wakefield are in a lot of trouble. They're hanging back, and they can't allow St Helens with all this room.
That's a little knock on, though, by Talau. So let's go down to the sideline and now join Dave Hadfield, who is the spokesman for the British media, who have the choice, of course, for man of the match tonight. Dave.
A great start from Willie Talau, but already 2 glimpses of those world-class skills that Jamie Lyon possesses. It would have been great to see him up against Sid Domick tonight. It wasn't to be because he's injured, but that's another opportunity for Kevin King. He's only played 1 game as a substitute for Castleford last season, but hasn't looked out of place in Super League at all. No Ben Jeffries either, so first start for Sam Obst, and he's up against one of the best in the business, of course, in Sean Long. Paul Wellens making his 200th appearance for Saints tonight. Such a consistent player, you can almost guarantee him a big performance to mark that occasion.
We'll hear from Dave again with around about 5 minutes of this match remaining to find out who goes home with the watch tonight, as well, no doubt, as the priceless 2 Super League points. Brian Noble, the coach of Bradford Bulls, and of course Great Britain, is here with us tonight as well. First word from him now. Brian, congratulations last night, hard-fought win. And tonight, well, it's going to be a hard night at the office for Wakefield, I think.
Yes, you know, and the kind of team that can trouble St Helens. It sounds strange, but the thing you've got to do here is play some football. Move the ball around and defend tough as well, and try and win that field possession battle. Because they're so hot on their own turf, St Helens, you've got to put them under trouble and hope that you can do things like that. I saw Wakefield at Hull last week, and they're not worried about going behind on points because they know they can score points themselves. I just think the loss of Julian O'Neill there will be a bit of a blow for them.
Yes, they're having to try and reorganise as Saints come forward with Roby. The ball was stolen, and it wasn't 2-on-1, says the referee. It was good work in the end by David Wrench, the substitute on for the injured O'Neill. And this now is Jamie Rooney. Great little run and halted by Wellens' tackle.
Well, we just saw St Helens, 2 great runs from dummy half, but none better there from the standoff Rooney. That'll lift their spirits.
Sam Hobbs plays the ball to David March. He looks this way and finds Griffin. Griffin stands in the tackle, takes the tackle from Lee Gilmore, and also in there quickly was Paul Anderson. March again, here is Rooney. He's the engineer-in-chief, this fellow, particularly with Ben Jeffries off the field and not playing tonight. It's Dimitriou, the Wakefield captain. Fires a good ball to Hobbs, who comes back on the inside. Sam Hobbs gets the ball away as well. This is Halpin, it's dumped down to Wrench. Good hands, brilliant hands. Rooney, and Rooney trying to go round the outside. Pops the ball back inside, it bounces, and it's picked up again by March. This is brilliant play from Wakefield. Dimitriou and Steve Snitch, and Snitch is over! Snitch is over for a magnificent Wakefield try. Absolutely out of the top draw. That was St Helens-esque. They wouldn't allow the ball to die, and Steve Snitch in the side, the starting lineup ahead of Michael Korkidas, and he gets the 4 points.
Well, it's certainly not the ball out there, but was there more than one? Doesn't matter. Roby lost the football, but this was sensational play. Unbelievable. They took the chance, didn't they? It must have gone through about 14, 15 passes. They just wanted to get it away. That's where the crowd thought there was a knock-on, but it didn't touch. No way in the world Darryl Griffin got a touch for that. And Snitch has got the 4 points. Game on. Well, Brian Noble made it quite clear that they do not panic. They still want to play good open rugby league football, and that is absolutely wonderful stuff.
And it stunned this big St Helens crowd here. There is a following from Wakefield, and they're celebrating now because the Rooney conversion has brought them level at 6 points apiece.
Yeah, they have a pretty simple philosophy that when they get close to opponent's try line, they'll keep the ball alive because they know that, hey, if it doesn't come off, they're still down at that end of the field. And as we saw against Wigan in round 2 of Super League, keeping the ball alive near opponent's line makes life in the defensive unit pretty tough indeed.
That's a fantastic try from Steve Snitch. As I say, gets his start ahead of Michael Korkidas, who will be used off the bench. But remember, before last season, this Wakefield side finished next to bottom in each of the previous 3 years, and they were 10th out of 12 teams in 2000. What a remarkable transformation Shane McNally has made to the fortunes down there at, well, Bellevue it used to be called, it's now the Atlantic Solution Stadium. This is March, and Wakefield will be encouraged by the fact that they are 6-all, losing the likes of Julian O'Neill and missing the likes of Domick and Jeffries.
Well, it doesn't come much more confident, does it, from what we've just seen from Wakefield? And put that down, you know, the guy that got him moving was the run from dummy half from Jamie Rooney.
Oh, the pass inside to Sculthorpe.
Well, I thought that was knocked down.
And Lyon floats it wide to Darren Albert. Albert comes back inside for St Helens.
Yep, definitely knocked down.
Went backwards anyway from St Helens. There might have been 2 men there, but it's this business about attacking the ball or trying to make the tackle. I think that Solomona was trying to offload anyway.
Yeah, but there looked to be 2 men on him.
Here is Sculthorpe. Wide it goes again to Jamie Lyon. Strength from Jamie Lyon! Oh, terrific try. No! The touch judge says no try. He has said that Lyon has dropped this, and Carl Kirkpatrick hands it on to the video referee. This touch judge has said no try. Now then, the video referee will have the final say.
Well, a man with a whistle has just said, we better have a little look at this. Good work from Obst. Now then, does the... Yep.
The touch judge is spot on.
It's the knee from the fullback Halpenny. Watch the knee come across. Actually, it's the shin.
If you think back to last week, Wakefield were penalised here. It was a penalty try when the player was trying to put the ball down over the line. The fullback Halpenny tried to put his foot underneath the ball, kicked it out, and the referee gave a penalty try against Wakefield and in Hull's favour. It's a similar type decision.
I don't think he's looking at the football, though. I think he's looking at the man, so therefore there'll be no try. Well, you've got to hand it to the Merry flag waver. He's spot on. I'm sure it's NOTRY.
And it is. And it... goal line dropout.
How on earth have they got that?
That is wrong, surely. It should be a 20-metre restart. And the referee is right to do that.
Well done, well done.
Well, the crowd now are going crazy, but if you look across, fellas, to the big screen, you will see that the proper decision has now been given. It's a 20-metre restart.
Just a slight error. It happens.
There's no doubt that is the correct way to restart the game.
But I must say that I'm pleased that Carl Kirkpatrick just said, let's have a look at this. Okay, you were in a good position. Touch judge certainly said no try, but there's nothing wrong. We've got it there. We may as well use it.
I think Bill Arthur has got some news of Julian O'Neill's injury over on the side. Bill?
It's not as bad as first field feared with Julian O'Neill. At least that's the initial diagnosis from the Wakefield bench. Looks certainly like a dislocation, possibly even a break, but ice on the injury. They're going to give him a few more minutes, and the hope is that Julian O'Neill will be able to come back. Incidentally, a good job I didn't enter the medical profession, because the word on Mickey Hyam is that it's actually a hand injury and not a leg injury. A bit of a difference there.
No worries, Bill. Here is Wellens. He's injured anyway. That's a 100%er. 6 apiece at Knowsley Road. If St Helens thought it was going to be a cakewalk, think again, because Wakefield are tenacious.
Certainly are, and David Rains put himself about there on that kick and chase situation.
This is Sculthorpe. Griffin over the top of him. The referee, his patience tested. Cunningham got the ball away. Vinnie Anderson gave it then to Fossard, and Fossard, it was risky business, but it came off. Roby managed to get hold of it round his neck.
Well, we saw last night, Eddie, that the official... Oh, what a
Lyons
step!
Lyons away again. Just hold on. This is Vinnie Anderson. Tried to get the ball away. Long wants it wide. This is Wellens. It comes wide over the head of Long and finds Gilmore, who finds Tallow, who finds Gardner, and Gardner comes back on the... Oh, brilliant! And can Long get it down? No, he can't.
Well, Jason Dimitri took a huge gamble when Wellens threw the long ball, but what about the step there? He's a darling of the Saints fans here, Jamie Lyon, and didn't opt too well. Made sure he got the thighs and the groin right underneath the football. There's no way in the world he could have planted that down.
Great work from Wakefield in defence. There is Obst again. Here's Korkidas. He's been introduced. And there's always an impact when he comes off the bench.
And Chris Feather's come on, so the way Shane McNally's applied, he's thought, well, we'll go we can for 15 minutes, then I'll put our biggest 2 most powerful players on and see what impacts or what holes they can put through the Saints defence.
This fella's magnificent, Solomon, and the kick down the line just finds its way to the touch. He was looking for Tadulala. Brian Noble, it's a very, very good Wakefield side we're watching here.
It's a super game of rugby. Neither of these players or neither of these teams are going to die wondering, are they? They're all making the plays, they're all making the tackles, they're all finding offloads from their backhands, from their top hands. And this is what you've got to do. Wakefield will not be intimidated by what Saints can and can't do. They'll play their own brand of football. They'll try to get down the other end of the field, and as everybody said, they'll play hot. And hot means they're going to find 2, 3, 4 passes in a row. We've already seen the St Helens are the same. They're not frightened to do that either. This is the battle of the footballers.
Indeed so. It's shaping up to be quite a contest. And here is Wellens.
Ooh, that looked a bit high.
Feather with the tackle over the top. Here's Paul Anderson. He gets St Helens over the halfway line just. Cunningham waits. He's got Fossard inside him. Fossard tries it
Another
forward.
high shot. And Korkidas is caught on this occasion. Fossard felt it, just have a little bit of a push with the forearm. And the one thing that Saints, you could see, he made contact, certainly walloped him. And Mr. Fozzard just said,
first contact with the head. We don't need that reaction. We don't need you throwing the ball at him. Think about what you're doing.
Nick Fozzard just being ticked off by Carl Kirkpatrick.
well, he certainly gave him a bit of a forearm, but was a high shot from this fella. And one thing that Saints perhaps cannot do is to sort of lose their composure. We've talked already about their ability to keep this ball alive. The last thing that they want to do is to go into a shell and start playing just one outlook rugby league football.
Here is Paul Anderson. St Helens continue with the big men up front, and it's with Cunningham now at dummy half. And here, well, I was going to say it was here is Fozzard, but here instead is Sculthorpe. And Sculthorpe is halted just short of the try line. Cunningham is there. It's Cunningham's range, and they knew that too. Good tackle though down by Kevin King. Here is Jamie Lyon. The ball goes to ground and finds its way to the touchline, and Wakefield celebrating wonderful defence. They get head and feet of the scrum.
Scrambling away there, trying to flip it. And it certainly came off a player, but did the ball play the arm, or did the arm play the ball? Probably see it better here. No, he was just going into the tackle there, was Tadjilala.
Eddie, I think that every time Wakefield celebrate like that, they recognise when Saints get near to your try line, more often than not they score, so it's a little significant win if you can prevent them from scoring when they're on about your try line. And they just need those little wins, those little boosts in energy, and a penalty now, they'll get a chance to have a bit of fun.
And Jamie Rooney was anxious to take a quick tap, but he can't until the referee has blown the whistle for a second time and made the mark for the team in possession.
Well, when you've got a side that loses the quality of 2-3 quarters, Domick and Jeffries, everyone thought perhaps they'd be weak in that department, but I must say that Jamie Rooney has taken the responsibility well. He's sorting things out there for Wakefield.
Yes, he is. Rooney, it's his birthday on Thursday, and he was a big miss for Wakefield last year. They did so well to make it to the playoffs without him. This is Korkidas. Good run from the substitute. And David March finds Sam Obst. Here is Rooney. Rooney looks for the run. Oh, great stuff from Rooney. He just delayed. Long had to get the tackle in. This is Demetriou, the Wakefield skipper. Good ball, March. Good defence. Vinnie Anderson. Rooney again, attacking that line. Nice little kick, but too deep.
Option good, contact far too heavy, but he's enjoying himself out there. You can see that the St Helens side, when they see Rooney with ball in hand, they're wondering what he's going to do next. Is he going to put the pass in? Is he going to put the little dink, or is it the kick?
This is Sculthorpe. And there's a St Helens man down, Roby in back play, as Long carries this on and finds Gilmore with a short ball. Roby receiving treatment. Long comes down the short side with Talau. Wrench got to him, but he got the ball away to Gardner. Gardner running flat.
What an effort.
Fozzard, and picked up one-handed by Sculthorpe. Goes wide to Vinnie Anderson, over the top to Fozzard again. Out the back door, this is Jamie Lyon. Well, it's flash, but at the moment they're not making the progress they thought they might, St Helens.
Great to watch, though.
Wellens here. Finds Cunningham. Back to Long, he plucks that out of the air. Oh, great ball. Gardner uses the referee to perfection, and St Helens get the try. They're asking him to go to the screen, but he gives the 4 points to Eddie Gardner.
Superb stuff. Well, we saw Snitch finish off maybe 15 to 16 passes from the Wakefield side earlier in this half, but he's apologising to the official. I'm sorry, you were in my way, and I wasn't going to stop. Good stuff here. Kept it alive, juggling it back on the inside. Superb stuff, wasn't it? They were trying to claim, Wakefield, that the referee perhaps could have hampered them, but when you see the replay, you can see there was no Wakefield player anywhere near the official. Alpany was beaten, Dead cold.
I've seen Eddie Gardner, he can sidestep better than that. I think he ran at the referee on purpose.
Gardner with the try. That's his 30th for St Helens, by the way. Got his first try against Salford here last week in the 46-12 victory. And Sculthorpe from bang in front. He adds the extras. It's 12-6 to St Helens.
See the sliding defence, that's the effect that you have when you do the inside pass. Two men going to long, huge gap, Gardner, bang, straight through.
Gardner, the England A international, 21 years of age. Neat piece of work there as he used the referee as a foil in many ways. Rooney with the kick-off. 23 minutes gone, ball bounces. Cunningham has it for the Saints. Brian Noble's alongside us. Brian, great try from Gardner.
They just move you around the field, and that's what St Helens did there. The 2 and 3 passes together across the field, and then the winger sniffing on the middle track. He gets a little bit of a haul. When you've got that kind of speed, it's difficult to stop. I think Saints are a little bit in the ascendancy here, and Wakefield just need to hang on in for the next 5 minutes. They're looking to play. Here we go again.
Brilliant ball from Long, finds Gilmore. Talau is with him, and Talau gets away from Demetriou. Second try for the New Zealand international. Willie Talau. The ball from Sean Long was poetry.
I think St Helens more than any other side score back-to-back tries, and that really what breaks the hearts of so many teams. They really have that ability to attack from deep, and they showed it there. Brilliant ball from Gilmore when he eventually draws the full-back.
It was a good pass from Gilmore, but none better than this from Long. Look at that, just sucked in the defender. Gilmore, he kept cool. Talau in the perfect position. Try number 2. He'll be looking for the hat-trick, that is for sure. But look at this. Absolutely superb. He drew in Jamie Field. Calm, cool and collected. And the man with red hair, Lee Gilmore, has provided the pass for Talau's second.
Willie Talau. Try home and away against the Wildcats last year, and 2 in this meeting here tonight so far. And don't bet against him sniffing out a hat-trick before the end of the night. Terrific centre combinations St Helens have of Lyon and Talau. And not bad at loose forward either with this fellow Paul Sculthorpe. 2 from 2. 7 goals here against Salford last week, over 1,000 points for St Helens now. The Great Britain captain in waiting if Andy Farrell goes to rugby union. 18-6 to St Helens.
2 go in. They don't expect it. You can see Rooney there. He's just gone out wide. It's sufficient. What a gap created by sheer quality offloading. And the finish was pretty good too. Boy, they enjoy scoring tries, this team, don't they?
They're the entertainers, there's no doubt about that. Back-to-back tries for St Helens then. Different complexion on the match just now. Cunningham scoots into dummy half. It was untidy, but it came off his feet, and they go wide and find Lyon. And Jamie Lyon.
Creating all sorts of problems out there on the left-hand side of defence for Wakefield.
Here they come again, the juggernaut's underway. This is Roby, tackled by David March. Roby wants to get on with it quickly.
To be fair, Wakefield, they've got back in numbers.
This is Wellens, hauled down by Feather. And also Michael Korkidas. Here is Long. Oh, a little drop of the shoulder from Long, but Wrench and Korkidas wouldn't be fooled. That's the last one. They're 10 metres away, those Saints. In possession with Roby. It goes wider to Sculthorpe and wider to Vinnie Anderson, and Lyon drops the kick in. Whoa! And Tajulala has to be quick.
What a game this centre is having. Jamie Lyon. What a well-placed kick. Good work from Tajulala, it had to be. He knew they were all around him. Darren Albert was sniffing the 4.
Not bad, is it? You get rid of Martin Gleeson to Warrington, and you bring Jamie Lyon in from Australia. What a replacement.
He's made a fantastic start, hasn't he? When St Helens are white hot like this, you've just got to literally hold on and hope for your life. And it's tough for Wakefield, but they've just got to hang on in there now and hope that Saints don't score in this set.
It's Cunningham, and he's just running into the back of Corkidas, and Roby was the shout, and Roby goes over for another St Helens try. No wonder he's smiling. 20th consecutive appearance for the teenager, James Roby. Well, it has been the old 1, 2, 3. They've run in 3 tries in 6 minutes.
Put it down to the run from Cunningham. He has this defence all at sea. They went far too high, you can't do that. He's got good upper body strength as the little standoff James Roby. Look how he has this Wakefield defence so confused. And good work also, you know, and that's why he enjoyed it. Mainly due to the fact Nick Fozzard, he's piled into 3 would-be defenders, twisted his back, offloaded. Wakefield were always going to be in trouble after that.
James Roby. First St Helens try as a substitute against Wakefield last July. They lost. Highly, highly rated by Ian Millwood, and proving exactly why there. Paul Sculthorpe lining up his 4th conversion attempt of the night. And we're only just at the half-hour mark. Sculthorpe adds the extras. It's 24 points to 6.
This is what forward play is all about. I've got 1, says Fozzard. I'm sucking in 3. And you are going to be in a lot of trouble. Super stuff. Great build-up. You have to admire the way that this St Helens outfit can just blitz the opposition. And they have done it. 3 wonderful tries.
Short kick-off from Rooney. Wakefield looking for some possession, but they don't come up with the ball. Vinnie Anderson does. And Sculthorpe is the dummy half. Here is Wellens. Oh, they're missing the tackles here, Wakefield. Ominously for them. This is Cunningham. Roby, the try scorer. Edmondson. They're over the halfway line. They're 10 metres inside Wakefield territory. This is the 4th tackle coming up here, and Long, he has to go back, but they will come again with Roby. And now it will be Sculthorpe. The tackle by Solomona. Vinnie Anderson, great ball. Sculthorpe, last tackle. Here is Long. The kick was looking for Talau. It was picked up by Rooney, and it was Gardner who got the tackle in on Jamie Rooney.
Well, I don't know why the St Helens fans are upset about that. It certainly hit the shin. No doubt about it. Jamie Rooney just put the boot out. Did well to stop him. They had the overlap out wide.
That's brilliant play from Dimitri. I'm sure all of the Wakefield players are tired, but you can't allow yourself to feel that way now, Eddie. They have possession, and they really have to counter-attack here with what little energy they've got left.
It's with Solomona.
Biggest problem now for Wakefield, and I'm sure the coach Shane McNally is fully aware of it, that on that passage of play, you could see that they were struggling to get back early in the game, were doing it well.
That's a good kick, though, but it's well fielded by Adi Gardner. 31 minutes. The next home fixture here at Knowsley Road is Easter Monday against the Bradford Bulls. Their coach is on a spying mission with us tonight. Are you worried?
Well, you would be worried if you get the ball like Wakefield. This is what St Helens can do to you. They can score 1, 2, 3 on the bounce, and the game can be away from you before you know it. That's why every second of every play you have to concentrate on where the ball is, who's got the ball, who's outside the ball carriers, with Sculthorpe Long probing around, Cunningham at hooker, Hyam when he's on, Wellens probing. You've got to know what's inside and outside of you. And the thing is, you can, after 5 minutes, you can be blinking and you're 18 points down. Well, how did that happen? And they just play super football. So at some stages you have to slow the game down. You have to kick a few touch lines, and you have to be complete, because when they've got full of confidence, they'll try little chip kicks like that.
Yes, they're full of it, aren't they? And here they have a penalty, Wakefield, which will relieve a little bit of the pressure.
Well, they won't be rushing to take this, that's for sure. No doubt about it, the full-back shot all over the top. Neat little chip there. Korkidas just got a fingertip to it. Put his body on the line, did a little halfback, Sam Opps.
National League One's Player of the Year with Whitehaven in 2004, and gaining a reputation as the Wildcats' Rob Burrow in many ways. He's been a sub in all 5 so far. Jeffries goes out tonight, and he's in the thick of the action, just as Burrow has been over the past 5 or 6 weeks with Danny Maguire out injured. Here is Steve Snitch, who scored the try.
He's a quality halfback, there's no doubt about that. It's perhaps his size and maybe his defensive qualities. And that was a bit
past that.
Yeah, it's had a bit of a cross on it as well. Just held on to it, did the little halfback a bit too long. Welcoming committee was there. He's a will of the wisp, as you say. He's a tough little hombre.
7 minutes to half-time. St Helens 24-6 in charge. From the base of the scrum, that's Roby making good progress before Halpenny brings him down. Jamie Lyon, dummy half. Gilmore.
Would you like to say there was only just one part of this field where Saints are just ripping Wakefield apart, but they're doing it in the middle, they're doing it out wide. We've already seen the quality of Willie Tallow and Jamie Lyon, and they're running from Cunningham. It's pretty hard to stop this lot.
4 tackles gone, they're deep in opposition territory again. It's with Sculthorpe. This is Edmondson. Important tackle by David March. Last one, Cunningham. Sculthorpe, they switch the direction of the attack. Mason onto Roby. Roby dabs the ball to the in-goal area, and it is picked up by Andy Kirk.
Bit of a wasted effort there, James Roby. Just a little bit of inexperience showing. They were expecting the long ball out wide, and when he put the kick in, it was impossible to allow to get the pressure.
Demetriou, the Wakefield captain, halted by Roby.
Come on.
Well, Wakefield need a good set of 6 and make sure they get into a good position so that they can offload. But what a run from Rooney yet again.
Brilliant run and a good tackle by Cunningham. Wrapped him up, made sure he couldn't offload. But now he's given the penalty away. I think that's a bit harsh.
Well, it rolled away from the man. He certainly interfered with him. Well, they've got to tap this, and they have.
Yes, Wakefield have been starved of possession near the St Helens post. This is a chance for them.
They need a little bit of hope, and that has to come.
And Sculthorpe has swooped on the loose ball, and they've made a right porridge of that between them.
Well, what on earth was Paul Sculthorpe thinking?
Did he get a hand to it in the first place, Steve, or did he think maybe he was going to get called back?
Well, he really should have. You know, when you're under pressure like that, you make sure of the football. You don't have to upload. And I know he had Mike Bennett there, but you just make sure. Look, if you've got the football, they can't score. Simple.
Rooney again up the middle for Wakefield. Just noticed that Paul Sculthorpe maybe was just feeling the leg a little bit. Maybe he's got this hamstring problem that seems to dog him year after year after year. Maybe didn't fancy a full length of the field run, or nearly full length of the field run. There he is in the tackling though on Solomona. This is Tadulala. The Saints having to muscle up in defence. Solomona waits. He'll go himself. Full of strength, the big New Zealander.
He'll let him play the ball.
Well, he was certainly over the line there, Solomona. This is Obst. He gives it to Rooney, and Rooney then to Demetriou. And there's chances here. There is chances here for Kirk, and Andy Kirk is in. Andy Kirk for Wakefield. The young man released by Salford in the closed season, and he has just come up with his first try for Wakefield of 2005.
Well, it looks to me as though he's held up here. Well, he's well over it. Oh, he shouldn't have sent him back for the play the ball, should he?
Yes, he should.
Head up, yeah.
But back 10 metres.
Yeah, and then he just let him play it on the... Well, let's not upset anybody by saying it was the official's mistake, because that had nothing to do with it. I'll tell you what had to do with it. Kirk has scored a try because Paul Sculthorpe has tried to offload when he's an experienced player, and really he should have just made sure he had the football. It was a great finish. Speed and a little kick, scissors kick. You don't often see that from a winger, but he did, and they're back.
Well, I'm a huge fan of Sean Long's, and I mean, I've commented on Boots and all. His support plays outstanding as the kick comes in from the sideline.
Oh, it's a fabulous kick from Rooney. That is a great kick from Jamie Rooney.
But the point I was going to make was he got attracted in to the ball really in defence when he got there too late, and that caused all sort of problems. So I know Paul Sculthorpe had put them under pressure by doing that, but he was too late in getting there and too ineffective.
Hold the line, fellas. Watch the line.
Well, Andy Kirk with the try, and that really will give Wakefield some hope as we approach half-time. Just a couple of minutes remaining of this first half. Sam Hobbs was underneath it, and here comes Semi Tadjilala again. Well, they've been really on the rack, Wakefield, haven't they? But they have come back up off the canvas, and they're only now 12 points adrift. But at this stage of the match, it's danger time for any opposition for St Helens, because they can snap and score from anywhere.
Yeah, don't forget they were 14 points behind against Hull last week and almost won it with a minute to go, so they have some comeback ability, but it's a tougher ask here, I think, now against the Saints in this mood.
This is Solomona. He gets the ball away to Sam Hobbs again. That's the last tackle, so Saints will get another set of 6 here. At least you think they will. Solomona's kicked down the wing and gobbled up on the far side by Darren Albert.
Pretty brave as well from the winger.
This is Wellens.
Well, we said that Wakefield needed a little bit of a lift, and that 6 points has certainly done that. Crowd don't like it. Remember, he penalised Cunningham, and that was one-on-one. That's play on.
So it's Wakefield who will finish with the ball in hand in this first half. And here they come again with Steve Snitch. Tackled by Mason. David March waits. Here is Rooney. He's in the thick of everything. Finds David Wrench. Well, another try here for Wakefield. It'll be all on in the second half. Rooney waits. And he goes himself, Jamie Rooney. It's a great run, but he's held up just short of the line. They've got plenty of tackles left, and they've got plenty of time also. March bullets the pass, Obst, and Obst backs himself. Quick play the ball, Solomona. Wide it goes, they're in.
He hasn't got it.
Not down, the ball is not down. That's wonderful defence. Referee stops the clock with 10 seconds to go.
Well, he's unsighted. It's no try, that's for sure.
Jamie Field is it who thinks he has scored? No, Kevin King.
Has he pressed me, this kid?
Yes, it's Kevin King.
That's not down. There's a hand underneath that. And that is a wonderful effort to stop what surely should have been a try. Looking to see whether the ball carrying arm gets underneath, but I don't think that touches. And I think we've seen it just before the ball head goes across the screen. And believe you me, I know what a bald head looks like. I don't think he gets that down. Now, in Australia, I would say that would be given, because they often just slide in with a ball and the ball never touches the ground. But I don't think in that instance he's going to give this. I'm going to go no try.
Wonderful defence from Jamie Lyon. If it is no try, and it is, they have 10 seconds. It's the 4th tackle. They've moved back the 10 metres this time. And here is Obst. And now it's Rooney. And Rooney finds Halpenny, and the space is here. It's Demetriou. And Demetriou is forced back, and that's great defence. And there's a half-time siren. And that will do. Ian Millwood makes a quick exit down to the dressing room. Well, it was breathtaking stuff from St Helens at times, but Snitch's try and Kirk's try just before the half-time siren has given the Wildcats a little bit of hope for the second half. It's 4 tries to 2 in St Helens' favour. It's 24-12 on the scoreboard. And it'll be great to see him there as well. We're underway here for the second half at Knowsley Road. Wellens fields the kick-off, and a big 40 minutes ahead for Wakefield.
I feel they've got to score early, and as I mentioned at half-time, I'm sure that Ian Millwood would like, if there is a problem with his captain Paul Sculthorpe, if Saints can get a quick try or maybe even two, then he will have the luxury perhaps to just save him.
Saints are on halfway. This is Keith Mason.
Come on, David.
Cunningham to Long. And on the inside it was looking for Edmondson, but it's pinched.
Well, I'm not so sure pinched. In fact, I think Long passed it to the Wakefield player.
Steve Snitch was the quicker reaction.
A bit lackadaisical there from the halfback Sean Long. We saw, remember, Paul Sculthorpe, when he really should have just dropped on the football. He offloaded deep within his own quarter. They came up with the error and Wakefield scored.
Well, Wakefield are in possession here with Solomona, who plays the ball to David March. March taking on Cunningham, almost past him, but with help from Edmondson. March is brought down, and a high shot from Edmondson, while March was on the ground, grappling him round the neck. There it is. Not allowed. So penalty to Wakefield, they gain territory.
Well, I'm not so sure that, before long we'll be saying we can't tackle.
This is Feather. Don't they call it the grapple tackle? Isn't it something that we've inherited from Australia? Here's Steve Snitch again.
If they're messing around with the fingers in the face, yes, I agree with it, but that didn't look anything.
March, back it goes to Rooney, and Rooney finds Solomona. Oh, not the best pass, it's picked up by Gardner. And a good job that Andy Kirk was there just to stop him. Right, let's go to Bill Arthur on the side. Mickey Heim alongside you, Bill.
Mickey's sitting this one out, and this Wakefield side, OK, you've got a healthy lead. They could still be a threat, couldn't they?
Yeah, I mean, they're a team you can't switch off because as you showed from that try that they got, I think it was the second try, they must have been like 10-15 offloads before the build-up, so they're a quality side, but I think our scramble defence has been good, and I say if we can just keep getting the quick throw the balls and get them to around the ruck, where we have been getting some success, I think we could come out on top tonight.
Here is Darren Albert. There's the first try of the second half for St Helens.
Brilliant.
Absolutely quicksilver rugby league skills from this St Helens team of all talents. Albert with the try.
Set up by the forwards, neat offload, good support play. Superb. It's as though they know exactly where they want to be, what they want to do. Look at the pass from Lyon. Oh, he put his body on the line, offloaded, took the tackle. Watch the offload here, see ya. Many a player would have been looking at the defender coming to him, and Jamie Lyon just said, come and hit me, but zap. Well, that was superb.
Steve, but if you remember, less than a minute before that, Wakefield had a chance to score in the far right-hand corner of the field, a short pass from Solomono, but the class and ability of this Saints side at the moment takes them the length of the field and makes their opponents pay for that mistake.
Change of goal kicker here. The captain, Paul Sculthorpe, off the field, start of this second half. Jamie Lyon then will try and add the extras. Walked out on Parramatta exactly a year ago, this young man. And
well, that wasn't the reason.
No, not a Paul Sculthorpe style conversion attempt. 28-12 though, Saints. There's Sean Long still out there, of course.
Well, it surprised me. I know he's having a great game. And isn't it amazing, the St Helens fans, that they were in, well, there was an outcry when they sold Gleeson. But, Lyon has got this same sort of quality of being able to zap the pass out quickly. Just the same as Gleeson does.
Rooney's high-hanging kickoff looking for Tadulala down this left-hand side. He's got it to park the ball inside, but it went forward.
Ironic cheer from the big crowd here.
Well, they're always on the backs of the referee here.
Yeah, easily knocked forward by Tadulala. Not much opportunity for this fellow. He's plenty of speed.
Roby finds Wellens on his inside. Roby again, and this is Gilmore. Good solid defence from Wakefield, but they're midway inside their own half, St Helens, and trundling forward here with Anderson. Cunningham in dummy half now. He offloads to Keith Mason. Mason tries to skirt around Rooney.
Oh, that was a high shot there from Dimitriou.
Talau. Wellens delayed the pass. Took the tackle from Feather. It's the last one.
Will it be a bomb?
Here's Long. There it is, up in the air. They're after this, Lyon and Albert. Whoa, Halfpenny has dropped it. Wellens has picked it up. It's 6 to go for St Helens. They're 8 metres away from the line. It's Cunningham. Back it goes. Edmondson underneath the sticks. It had an air of inevitability about it. Halfpenny couldn't deal with the bomb from Long. And in the twinkling of an eye, the substitute over underneath the post.
If you come out with mistakes like that and you're on the back foot, there's no better side in the world of rugby league that will make you pay than St Helens. Big mistake, Wellens, and from this, look at the strength, Cunningham. Poor defence though. You'll find 3 be sniffing around Cunningham as he offloads back on the inside. They fail to fill in. Kiss on the ball. Cheer from the coach. Is he a happy bunny? Oh, that's next week.
Edmondson's try. He missed the Salford match last week. He's been sub in the first 4. He featured in all but 5 of last year's matches, and Lyon now from bang in front. Maybe we'll see why he has been given the goal-kicking duties here. Adds the extras. 34 points to 12. St Helens now in command.
I was never good at maths at school, but 4 into 1 will just not go. It makes it easy. And Edmondson strolls over. It's going to take a big ask now for the Wildcats to get back into this game.
So Wakefield restart in the shape of Jamie Rooney. Let's have news of Paul Sculthorpe. Here is Bill.
Well, the position Saints are in now, they can afford to rest 1 or 2 people, and that's the case with Paul Sculthorpe. He does, of course, have this long-standing glutamus maximus problem, and the muscles tightened up again, so they've decided to rest him. Of course, busy, crucial Easter weekend coming up. Julian O'Neill is back out there for the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats. Really bad bang on his wrist in the first half, but he's shaking that off.
This is Long, who plays the ball to Roby. And Roby, it's looking a little bit ominous for Wakefield now. This is Cunningham, and the ball is picked up by Steve Snitch.
It's an option though, isn't it, Phil? When you get so close to the line, they know, even though at 34-12, mentally they're thinking we've won this game. But you can see there, Cunningham, that the professionalism of him. He wanted to get that kick, make sure that he applied the pressure.
They have so many options, don't they? They've scored on average 40 points in the 3 previous home games this season, and it looks as though they're going to improve on that tonight. They're getting better and better in attack, and I guess that if you asked Ian Millward, one of the reasons would be because of the big guys he's got, like Fozzard, Anderson, Edmondson, and even now Keith Mason back making his first appearance this season. It's those big guys that are setting the platform and taking his side forward.
This is Aidy Gardner. He evaded a couple, but he couldn't get away from Julian O'Neill, who's back on. Now it's with Wellens. And Korkidas put the shoulder in, stopped him, or temporarily stopped him, and now finished him off.
Well, he didn't finish him off, he hit his own player.
Roby and Vinnie Anderson, infield it goes. Mark Edmondson again.
Shea McNally has to get the word out to his side that they've got to try to just stop this side, and it's not easy. Not in this mode.
Long bounces away from Dimitriou, gives it then to Roby, and Roby gets it away to Cunningham. It's fantastic to watch, isn't it? Vinnie Anderson over the top, Darren Albert, they're in for another. Second try for Darren Albert. smiling. The Australian winger, the only man in Super League to score in each of the first 5 rounds, now the 6th round, with 2 tries tonight.
They're just not at the races at the moment, Wakefield. And you wonder how much it must have taken out of them is the fact when you go for a man, you've got to get to him, and Dimitru didn't do that. Back on the inside. Roby's had a big game, they've all had a big game, but what about that lovely dummy back on the inside? Billy Anderson, thank you very much, basketball style. Albert says, it's easy. Well, they make it look easy, don't they? Look at that. Cunningham's back to his bit, they're all back to their best.
And Ian Millwood celebrates another St Helens try, and alongside him there is Jason Hooper, who just shakes his head with a big beaming smile. They're all class.
They certainly are, and you know, Ian Millwood, he usually waits till around about this time and he starts saying about, yeah, everybody's talking about Leeds, they're not a bad side. He just digs a little knife in every now and again, doesn't he? It's all good. Great for the media.
Well, Jamie Lyon, he missed one from way out on the touchline before, banged one over from in front, and this one just goes the wrong side of the post. So it's 38 points to 12.
Yeah, pretty good start to the second half. When they play these sort of bursts, St Helens, you really do just have to try and hang on for your life. Do you know they had fewer offloads than any other side in Super League last year, and yet in that try alone there were 2 or possibly 3. They really have, I think, tried to make themselves a more dangerous side by keeping the ball alive even more, and that will cause problems for their opponents for the rest of this season if that philosophy continues.
Phil, I've been impressed with the standoff James Roby. He really is fitting well into this Saints side.
He's a great player, isn't he? And I think the fact that he's been able to play on a consistent basis now over a period of time will have helped his confidence. I think he's played in a variety of different positions coming off the bench. But having good players around you helps, you know, when you start off in your career, Steve-O, and he's got the benefit of having that coming into a strong and winning side.
Well, Wakefield must be feeling like they're standing at the bottom of the mountain and the snowball is gathering pace and coming downhill. Brian Noble, what on earth do you do when you're in this situation? What can Wakefield do to stop this tie?
They've got to hang on, because that's a fair-sized snowball, and Paul Anderson, and he's not on his own. The Saints are running hard, and it's going to be a long 27 minutes for Wakefield. Well, actually, it's going to be about 27 minutes for Wakefield, which will be, in normal time, it's going to be a long time for them. So they need to keep in there, they need to knock out their sets of 6. It's been on the back of, they made 2 errors in the start of the second half. They gave St Helens position and possession at the right part of the field, and it's just too difficult when they're running that hot. You really have to find somebody who's going to roll their sleeves up, win the ground for him, find a kick play, slow the game down a little bit, and they'll be able to lift the head and maybe breathe a little bit, because they suffocate you to the Saints.
This is Julian O'Neill. Obst, infield it goes, and Darryl Griffin. Well, if Wakefield do have, what do they say, bounce back ability, we're going to see it now, if they have it. High kick comes in from Jamie Field. Oh, brilliantly dealt with by Gardner.
But it was far too long. It's getting to the point where it's just kick and hope now by this Wakefield outfit.
And it's hang-on ability, I think, Eddie, that they're looking for.
Wellens will play the ball. Roby, and this is Vinnie Anderson. What a signing. Lyon. What a ball to Roby! What a try for St Helens! Second try for Roby. The referee hasn't given it yet. He wants a word with David Solomona. He took a tumble in back play. What's he going to say to Solomona?
Well, was it a cheap shot? I'm not right sure his concern is...
Put the ball down, you've followed him into the advertising and you've shoved him in the back. I'm giving the try and a conversion and
Will
a
it be
penalty
an
with a
8-point
post.
try?
It's a try and a conversion to come, and then a penalty under the sticks, he says. Roby's try, and it could be 8 for St Helens.
Superb. Falling off the tackles, we mentioned it, didn't we? Vinnie Anderson back on the inside. Have a guess who had the final pass? Mr. Lyon. Oh, he has had one wow of a game as the centre, Jamie Lyon. Came from Australia, left Parramatta because he said he didn't like the bright lights. No offence to St. Helens, but he has settled in very well, hasn't he?
I think looking at that second time, maybe David Solomon has been a bit hard done by here.
No, but I think there's been a series of incidents in the game recently, and I think they're trying to stamp that out. So he's perhaps paid the price there for things that have gone on previously there.
Maybe so, but the referee did say he pushed him into the advertising hoardings. We've just seen he didn't. He actually he pushed him, he nudged him.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, it's going to be an 8-point try. If Lyon kicks this conversion, he's going to get a penalty under the sticks. There is the 2 points for the conversion, and here comes another 2 points for the penalty bang in front.
Harshly done too. The one perhaps positive thing we can say about it is that it is not going to have any effect on the result. The result was well and truly over, and that is just a gentle push.
Does it not do Wakefield a favour? It makes the clock tick along a little faster. It makes those 27 minutes that Brian Noble was pointing out disappear a bit quicker.
Yes, it does. The Lion, 2 from 4. 3 from 5. And St Helens 46-12 and coasting. Now then, the big question. With Easter looming, Wigan and Bradford to come, what do they do, St Helens? Foot off the gas?
Well, with the normal side, you would probably say yes, they bring off star players here, there and everywhere. But they all want to be star players. In the 17 squad, you try to tell some of these guys, I want to come off. Well, when they're having good fun, don't stop the fun. It's pretty difficult.
Long to Gardner. Korkidas is pulled off the grounded player.
Big problem with Wakefield in the second half is that they really haven't got to the ball carrier quick enough. And even when they get there, they've had the ability of Saints to offload.
Cunningham. Great ball again to Roby. Halfway line. 4 tackles gone. Cunningham. Long. That's the last. They only made 12 metres on that tackle. Bennett brought down. Here's Long. Comes wide to Lyon. How did that stick? It did. Wellens keeps the movement going. Long with the kick to the in-goal area. And Markfield allows the ball to trundle its way down.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me to see that Ian Mill would bring off Sean Long now. He'd be quite happy at 46-12, but sometimes when you get the message, remember, I think it was 49 seconds remaining that Mr. Fielden was removed from the field of play.
Yes, the big stars don't like to come off. St Helens have conceded a penalty here, but they don't like to be withdrawn, do they, Brian? Stuart Fielden told us that on Boots and All on Wednesday. Did he have a word with you last night?
He mentioned the fact that he wanted to go 80 and the fact that he's going real close, isn't he? 79 minutes and 10 seconds or 20 seconds. That's pretty close for a front row in this day and age, but I don't know there's many that can do 80.
Well, he believes he's the one. This is Korkidas.
Well, they say that if he doesn't do the 80, he does a lot of damage to the water bucket.
No, he was fine.
Oh, what a defence that is.
Wow.
Edmondson.
Absolutely superb. They're just crunching Wakefield.
Look at that possession in the opposition half. 27 minutes. St Helens have been camped over the halfway line. They're there again. 6 minutes.
And we haven't got into the final quarter yet.
Cunningham. Back it goes to Long. Wide it goes to Gardner.
He's had a big game as well. Look at that. Determination.
Here's Bennett.
They're making the game look as though it's a 7-a-sides tournament, aren't they, at the moment? They're throwing the ball around. Every player's just running. They're prepared to go backwards if needs be before going forwards, and they really are impossible to stop in this mode.
That's a shame. Anderson's pass inside was dropped by Roby, but they've got the penalty anyway for a high shot.
And good refereeing as well. He'd seen it, and he wanted the advantage to go on. Not forthcoming for Saints. He's had a big game, this fella, Carl Kirkpatrick.
Well, they're blowing a bit hard now, Wakefield. We enter the last quarter of the match.
Why did you look at me like that when I praised the official?
Here's Anderson. Oh, barnstorming run from the big fella. The ball comes back to Cunningham. And here is Bennett. Just short. Cunningham waits. Is it going to be Kieran Cunningham's moment? Yes, I think it is. Well, the referee's going to hand it on to the video ref. Cunningham's convinced he scored.
Great effort. Anywhere near it. What's it short? Oh yeah, it's got it down there. Slides away from Jamie Rooney's thigh. Standoff tried his damnedest to stop him. You know, if ever I wanted a hole dug out for a swimming pool, he's got to be there, don't he, Cunningham? I mean, he's just so strong.
I think the video ref's seen enough.
TIY.
Try for Cunningham. That's the 50. 50 points up for St Helens.
Well, there's little they can do, Wakefield, but
the 5th try of this second half. The
strength.
Saints.
Look at that. All strength. He's back to his best, Cunningham. And when you think, as Bill was interviewing Mickey Hyam, imagine what Mickey Hyam could have done to, you know, using Cunningham as a prop and Hyam in there. He's got depth. As he in Millwood, that's for sure.
He has when you think Jason Hooper and Paul Sculthorpe aren't even on the field. I bet Wakefield wonder whether it's worth bothering coming to the halfway line to kick off or whether they should just kick from the goalpost here, but Eddie, they're going to be back on the try line defending in a second.
Jamie Lyon is developing into St Helens' second choice goal kicker, 52-12. It's remarkable because Sean Long is still out there, isn't he? Yes, he is. He's down on his own try line.
Well, if he has a little bit of a niggle, there's no point in wasting him, but...
Bad day at the office, boys.
Well, I think Shane McNally knows, and his mind will drift back a couple of weeks ago down in London. London just blitzed them. They kicked off Wakefield. London came back and scored. It's exactly the same as what Saints are doing. And if you're a Wildcat fan, I'm afraid, close your eyes.
Penalty to Wakefield for back-chatting to the referee by Paul Wellens. There's a couple of these last night.
He probably should have had a penalty though, Eddie, because he was tackled in the air, and I think that was his complaint.
Well, the referees, I don't think will have any of this back-chatting to them. If what we've seen last night and tonight is anything to go by.
Well,
I think
it's good.
Obst. Julian O'Neill. Took the tackle, the second one. Obst again. Solomona. And
Not the best pass.
Tadulala is in touch. Touch judge's flag immediately raised.
Well, St. Helens have not turned off, have they? Man-on-man marking. You'd think at 52-12 they'd every right to say, well, OK, ease down somewhat, but they won't. I mean, we're talking about a St. Helens side who in the past have scored 3 tries in the last 5 minutes of a game.
3 tries in the last 5 to win it. And Paul Cullen is here tonight. Don't mention that too loudly. He's an interested spectator like the rest of us here. This is Edmondson. We have Brian Noble alongside us. Brian, you've got to come here next Monday.
I certainly have, and they're still making plenty of yards on every carry. As soon as he's knocked on there, the merry whistleblower, It's a tough place to come if you're not mentally ready, if you're not physically ready, if you're not prepared for every second of every set, because this team are very talented. And like with most talented teams, you have to concentrate, you have to be disciplined in and around the ruck and right to the fringes, even with the ball. If you want to attack the team, which you've got to do, you've got to score some points here to put St Helens under pressure. You've then got to roll your sleeves up and defend very, very hard for 6 plays because of their talent. And that's the only way you're going to get any results. That's why they're so strong here. You've got to take a game plan, you've got to stick to it rigorously and not give them a ball for nothing like Wakefield did at the start of the second half.
Brian, I know that you've had your moments here at Knowsley Road in the past, but Bradford don't travel terribly well to this particular part of the Super League scene.
Well, I don't think we're on our own in that particular statistic.
No, you're not.
But we've had some successes. You know, we've won here twice in playoff games. We've won in the league. We've come close a couple of times. I remember one Humdinger, 44-38, I think. So we generally have a dig, and that's all you can ask, you know. And we'll come here with a lot of confidence when we come down here. But we've got another match or another game before that.
Indeed so. This is Demetriou and this is Halpenny, and Wakefield are in. Well, good on them. They're not throwing it in, are they? They're not putting the towel up and saying we're ready for going home. Halpenny with the try.
Neat work as well. Worked the blind side. Good run by Obbs. Could see there that there was just a little bit of a problem, and you can see that Sean Long, he has this habit of coming out of the line. That's the reason why Ian Millwood shoves him out wide. Take nothing away from Wakefield there. Demetriou just sucked in the winger, but you've got to point the finger at Sean Long coming out of that line very quickly. If you're going to do it, you've got to make sure you get a ball and all. He was nowhere near him.
Well, at 52-12, you could excuse Wakefield for packing it up, but they won't. And Rooney, oh, he hits the post. Great effort. Halpenny's try, though, 52-16 now.
There you see, come out of line, got to make sure you nail him. Didn't. Well finished.
Yeah, Halpenny, he dropped the ball from that bomb earlier. Slightly makes amends, but Brian Noble's hit the nail on the head, hasn't he? You cannot just cough up possession to this St Helens team the way that Wakefield did at the start of this second half.
Well, we often talk about field position and turning the opposition, putting them down and applying the pressure, but it's very difficult against St Helens. They're quite happy to just throw the ball around right in front of their own post.
I think Wakefield could take some credit from the fact that about 12 months ago, St Helens did this to the lead side.
Great ball to King, he's got Obbs with him, and he's put it's a forward pass.
He's blown that. He has blown it. Kevin King and his coach knows it. He should have offloaded before that.
He drew the full back, didn't he? And he took the gamble.
No, he tried. He took it just a step too far. Beautiful offload there. Solomona is magic. This is where it should have gone. He went for glory, and I'm afraid not even the momentum rule could help him on that occasion. It's a shame because he's had a fine match, and he'll learn from that. And I'm sure that Shane McNally will just say, listen, if you make the break, fullback coming across, you've got support, let him have it.
Well, that's an escape for St Helens. Roby plays the ball to Wellens. There is Obst, who thought he was in for the try. Cunningham. Fozzard. Bumps wrench out of the way. Cunningham over the top. Edmondson. This is Graham. Oh, through the legs of Long. Was that forward? No. This is Gardner. Flicks it on to Edmondson. He will go up the middle. Great offload to Gardner again. Oh, look at this. They have been the time of their lives. It's Mason. Fozzard. Roby. Vinnie Anderson. Vinnie Anderson. Oh, off the chest of Lyon.
He did everything right there. Vinnie Anderson, superb. Took away the defence. One hand, right round. The pass was good. Lyon should have taken it. It would have been the icing on a very, very good cake that was baked by Jamie Lyon in this game.
Great offload then from Solomona to O'Neill, who handed it on then to David Wrench. Rooney goes wide. This is Demetriou.
No penalties.
11 minutes to go. St Helens night, there's no doubt about that.
I think there's been enough indicators in the last few minutes to show that there's still some strong character in the Wakefield side, and Shane McNally knows his team won't play against the side as strong or dominant as St Helens every week, so while they're still hanging in there, you develop that character, it's going to get you some wins throughout the season.
Well, they've beaten Bradford and Wigan this year. So they are a team that is not only developing but has this great spirit.
That is without doubt. And they've also got wonderful players in this man, David Solomona. Not only can he offload, he's good with the kick as well. But Shane McNally, the Wakefield coach, his biggest problem is that when the opposition score a try, they'll breach them again within minutes.
38 tries they've conceded now this season, Wakefield. I don't suppose really with Brian Noble as our guest tonight we should have mentioned the fact that they beat Bradford, but they did, didn't they?
They did, and they played better than us on the day. They threw the ball around, scored a lot of points, and we couldn't manage to. We were pretty ordinary that day. We've improved since then, but Wakefield still continue to show that whenever they get in the opposition half or 20-metre area, they're dangerous. They can play. They've got 2 decent or 3 decent halves. They can trouble you.
St Helens are trying to trouble them now, but that's a forward pass.
Well, he certainly looked it. Gilmore's disgusted. Brian, do you feel, we know the qualities of this Wakefield outfit, do you feel that maybe Wakefield can do it 1 week and then just fall apart the next, and they build on the games that they want to win?
I think their coach will be looking at tweaking their defence. I think they're conceding too many. You know, it's one-way traffic. They score points. You know, if you look at how many they average, they're still averaging 25, 30 points, which is enough to win any game. So he'll look to squeeze his defence and maybe concentrate on that a little bit and organise his shape a little bit differently defensively. But it would be hard to talk about defence in this game, particularly when the Saints are running so hot with the ball.
Rooney is penalised there. He played the ball when the referee hadn't shouted held. Then he disputed the call. He's been marched 10. Here's Mike Bennett for St Helens now.
That's another great advantage that Ian Millwood, the Saints coach, has. I mean, you look at that, the power on the bench. Edmondson, Bennett, Mason and Graham. Not bad.
Hazard plays the ball to Cunningham. Here is Graham, one of the subs. Great offload. Cunningham. Scragged in the end by Darryl Griffin. It's with Sean Long. He might be a little questionable defensively, but boy, what an attacking threat. Anderson. Vinnie Anderson. Back to Keith Mason. Hole has opened up for Mason. Good defence from Wakefield. There's Vinnie Anderson. Cunningham's just behind him. Vinnie Anderson! Has he got that down? The referee says he has. Vinnie Anderson with the try. His first for St Helens. He played standoff in the tri-series for New Zealand. He's operating in the second row for St Helens in the Super League.
Again, built up nicely. Good defence. Really has to wait until the referee has called held, and then he had a few words to say. Cunningham put them in this position with sheer strength. Vinnie Anderson offloads it again, and good work from the forward. The support to the forwards has been excellent. And it was a tired Wakefield defence. Anderson said, I'm having my 4, and he's got him.
Vinnie Anderson has just scored the 10th St Helens try of the night.
Good positioning by the official. Didn't need to go to the video referee. Well, it's turning into a riot. They are enjoying it out there.
Vinnie Anderson, debut against Salford last Friday. 3 years with the New Zealand Warriors. Bradford and London were very interested in him, of course. But Mr. Millwood and the St Helens board moved quickly and snapped him up. Jamie Lyon with the chance then to add 2 more points to his personal tally and to St Helens. They're aiming for their 5th Super League title in 10 years in 2005, but they haven't won the crown since 2002, the Saints. They started last season like a house on fire, and they are continuing it on in 2005. It's 58 points to 16. John Wilkin is there. There's another star who isn't in the starting lineup for St Helens. He has a rich vein of talent, hasn't he, to dig into, the St Helens coach.
Certainly has, and I'm sure that the message has been sent over the Pennines, straight down the M62 to Tony Smith and the boys. That's going to be one big shakedown when these two meet.
It's not going to be bad here on Easter Monday when the Bulls are in town, and when they go to Wigan on Good Friday. Matches that you can see with us live on Sky Sports. We have a great Easter programme. Australia covered, and the Super League covered in depth. Here they come again. Edmondson. This could be one of the tries of the decade. What a run. Cunningham. Roby. Great ball. Mason. Still Mason.
Well, he's tried everything it's Mason to get a try tonight.
Bennett.
Play the ball, play the ball.
Well, he's consistent, Carl Kirkpatrick, because he is also over the line. Bennett.
No, I think the ball was in the field of play, Eddie. His legs were.
Vinnie Anderson. On the bounce, Edmondson.
Got great footwork, hasn't he, Eddie? He's got him through a lot of holes tonight. He's got him going forward. He's got a good competition going with Fozzard and Anderson, who can be the #1 prop here.
Looping pass, Cunningham, back on the inside. This is Roby. It's wide to Jamie Lyon. Lyon stabs the ball to the in goal, and Tadulala is content to let it go. No, he isn't. He actually got a foot to that.
Who's upset with that
He's
decision?
disputing the call.
And so would I. I think it's been unfortunate. Neat little dink through though, wasn't it? Now then, was Lyon tripped in the back play? I thought Albert got a ball to that and then played the ball onto him. So if the ball's onto Tadulala, it shouldn't be a dropout underneath.
Well, it is. It's good length too. That's over the head of Nick Fozzard. Easter is going to be huge on Sky Sports if you're a rugby league fan. Just look at this, what we've got coming up for you over the holiday. There's that many games, we can't read them all out. But just stick with us on Sky Sports and we'll follow it with you every inch of the way.
Why don't you be honest and just say you got the wrong pair of glasses on?
No, that was last night. Got the throat fixed and then the eyes went.
Oh, don't tell me there's a big problem for Solomona. That would be a huge blow to this Wakefield side. He's in a lot of pain. Just went down awkward. You can see it.
Looked like nothing in it then, didn't
Well,
it?
once you get held and then they spin the body, Eddie, doesn't do your knees any good, I can assure you.
They've lost 9 of 13 visits to St Helens in Super League. I think that's 10 out of 14 now. So they lost the corresponding fixture last May, 26-20. Here is Griffith, here is Omst, there is Demetriou, and the ball is knocked forward.
That's a pretty poor attack or outstanding defence there from Paul Wellens. I don't know whether Darryl Griffin could have probably done better if he watches it again. But Paul Wellens is a very good fullback there. A guy like him charging at you, he didn't panic.
No, he looked for all the world that Sam Omst was on his way for a try right underneath the post.
One question needs answering, Steve. Oh, sorry to interrupt. We need to know who has won the Man of the Match award. Dave Hatfield has the name.
We've thought that even in a heavy beating like this, Jamie Rooney still looked a good player, but been absolutely spoiled for choice amongst the Saints. Willie Talau, Darren Albert, James Roby. We've been waiting for a hat-trick from any one of those, which wouldn't have been undeserved by any means. Mark Edmondson's been absolutely terrific. There have been votes for Jamie Lyon. He's been a complete handful from start to finish. But the man we've gone for, we think he's really been the heart and soul of this St Helens performance tonight. It's Kieran Cunningham.
So Kieran Cunningham goes home with the watch as man of the match.
No complaints from me about that. Though I must say Jamie Lyon must have run in very, very close. But what a game it's been. You know, I love it, and I know I'm biased. It's fantastic. And to think when I was 9 years of age, I nearly went to play dominoes.
This is Rooney. Oh, he's lost the ball under pressure from Graham.
Just sums it up, doesn't it?
Two knock-ons, says the referee.
Looks to the heavens, does Jamie Rooney. It's been,
you know, 58-16 is bad enough, but it could have been worse, couldn't it, for Wakefield?
Yes, it could.
I said it before, they did this to Leeds last year about this time of year, so Wakefield don't need to worry too much.
Well, they're talking back to the referee once, now they've done it twice.
And St Helens will look to get over the top of the 60-point mark. This is Gardner. Can they just add a little bit of icing on this cake? Cunningham. Cunningham, yes, they can. Second try for Kieran Cunningham. 62. Kick to come. Wakefield, they've stuck at it, but they have been dismantled for 80 minutes.
Well, if there's any doubters in the crowd here tonight that maybe David Hatfield and the media had got it wrong, he just wanted to prove that they got it absolutely spot on. He's back. For many years classified not only as the best hooker in this country, but the best hooker in the world. And he is back. Top of the table. Fantastic game. Fantastic effort from this St Helens side. And this crowd here, they love their heroes. And they must feel that there's something in the air now, Eddie, that this could be a good year for them.
I'll just post a word of caution as we watch Jamie Lyon knocking that conversion over. It was exactly the same 12 months ago. They won the cup, okay, but they fell off the perch in Super League.
They did have a problem with two players in and out for quite some time.
I know.
Two very, very good players in Mr. Long and Mr. Gleeson.
But they did not perform after that. And that was nobody else's fault other than the people here.
I disagree with you.
That's nothing new. St Helens have won. They've won easily in the end. The scoreboard massive against the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats. Sean Long, a potent attacking threat. They've enjoyed their night's work here. Let's get down to Bill Arthur. He's with the man of the match, Kieran Cunningham.
Kieran, it was one of those nights where it just clicked, one of those Saints nights, wasn't it?
We've been playing some fantastic rugby over the last couple of weeks, and you know, we've got such character in this side. It's absolutely brilliant. All the new guys are fitting in really well, and you know, we've been waiting for this. We're the quiet achievers. We train really well, and you know, this is the result of it.
It must be a joy to play when in a side like that, when it clicks like that.
It's fantastic. You know, I've been here a while now, and you get asked the question, which is the best Saints side you played in? And every year it improves and improves. This year, you know, it's getting better and better.
As one of the more established members of the side, you just look around you and see the likes of young Roby, Edmondson playing his heart out tonight, and think this could be the side to go all the way this year after a bit of a barren patch.
Let's not count our chickens. You know, we want to take it week in, week out. Got some great kids. You know, senior players are leading as well. Some great signings, and you know, it's looking pretty good for us.
Of course, you've got a busy weekend coming up, but you can't really rest on your laurels, can you?
No, it's not. It'd be nice to come out with at least 2 points out this weekend, but you can never tell. We've got, you know, a derby game. It doesn't matter who's playing bad, who's playing good. You know, it's one hell of a game, and then we've got Bradford on the Monday. They're picking the game up now. They played really well on Friday night, so you know, it's going to be interesting watching over the weekend for the Sky viewers.
It looks as though you're in the mood for it. Well done on a man-of-match performance tonight, Kieran.
Cheers, Bill.
Let's bring Coach Ian Millward in. Looks as though you enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was very, very, very enjoyable, and you know, if you probably look at our home games here this year against Widnes and Salford and Huddersfield and today, you know, I mean, teams have played very well against. Probably the second half have dropped off a little bit, but you know, I mean, we've played really well in the second half. But you know, it takes some doing. Wakefield, you know, they come back and scored a couple of nice tries too. So you know, they've got plenty to work with also.
Speaking to Mickey Hyam at half-time, interesting to hear him say that one of the things you might have been pleased with your scrambling defence. I mean, you look at the scoreboard on a night like tonight, defence isn't the sort of thing that comes into your mind, or maybe it does.
Yeah, well, they talked tonight a lot about there's going to be a lot of points tonight because both teams have been scoring points and both got a history that can score points. So I was very pleased to contain them to 16. That's not an easy feat, as Hull found last week. You know, they scored 33 points last week, Wakefield, and they have in other previous games. So, you know, it's a fantastic night. You know, great atmosphere, and you know, I'm sure there was plenty there for everyone to see.
It must look good from your point of view. The likes of Anderson already slotting in there and getting into form. Vinny Anderson, he's only just joined you, already in the groove. Roby gets better by the week, doesn't he?
Yeah, you know, I mean, young Roby had an introduction last year when the back end, then when Sean was out. So, and Anderson, you know, he's a very quality player, and you know, he looks very comfortable with the players around him. But you know, I mean, I'm sure it's only early in the year for everyone, and whoever has the loss this weekend will get better next week, and whoever's had a win has just got to keep improving.
You could get back down to earth this weekend. It's that sort of season, isn't it?
Well, it's a fantastic week just for rugby league coming up. You know, it's not for the players. It's tough. You know, people don't realise what they're going to do to play Friday and Monday, and especially the times they're going to play in the backup. But yeah, the games are going to be fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Thanks, Ian.
Yeah, anytime.
And we will see Ian Millwood